Alright, hey everyone, today we're going to discuss what products have really worked for me on Printify, and we're going to discuss their quality, and not only the quality of the product but the quality of the shipments, and did the printer ship the orders correct, all those types of things. So I'm going to go through and rate all the products that I've personally used and that I continue to use in my shops, and rate them on a scale of 1 through 5, just letting you know the experience I've had with them so you guys can save yourself from having some of the trouble that I've had, and seeing that some of these printers are really great and some of them really aren't the best. And if you don't know what I mean, I'm talking about Printify uses different printers, and some of these printers are used by other dropshippers and print-on-demand dropshippers. So these might be also used by Printful or Guten. So some of them are used by multiple ones. And some of them I actually have some products to show you, some physical products, but I also am going to insert pictures on all of these so you get an idea of what the finished product looked like. And I definitely do recommend, whatever design you're doing, buying at least a few samples of each type of item so you know how they're packaged, so you know what it's going to look like, and you just have a better idea. And also, if you order like a blank one, you can then take pictures of the blank one and Photoshop your designs on it, so you don't need to keep buying like the design. So those are just some tips I definitely recommend, even though I'm going to go over these, and regardless, I still think you should buy samples of the main items you plan to sell. But some of them you don't really need to, I think I'm going to go over clothing in part because I personally don't sell clothing, but I have ordered clothing, and I'll say why I don't do clothing at all. So I know clothing is a pretty popular one, but I'm not going to discuss, or I don't personally use them, and I'll discuss why. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to go over is the Journals by Spoke Custom Products, and I'm giving them, sorry, I'm just looking at my computer with the description and my ratings all on here, so see me looking over here. So I'm giving the Journals a 4 out of 5, and journals actually for me on Etsy are a pretty good seller. I think that it's more unique versus like mugs are pretty saturated, so I think it's a good item to sell. So for the journals, in terms of production time on Printify, it says 1.82 days production time, and I can testify to that. They ship the journals normally pretty fast. Like, there's something that I know customers are going to be happy with because the shipping time, the processing time is very fast. So I definitely think that that's a great thing for them. And also it's great that they have the blank and line pages. You could totally offer that on yours. I just do line, but some people have inquired about having blank, so I am considering putting that an option in there, as like on Etsy you can pick if they would want lined or not lined, but that's great that they have variety on that. So I have had a few issues with them. Most of the time I would say I don't have issues, but there are a few, and the few issues I've had are like ripped pages. Someone's like the binding was kind of coming out, and the other thing is there's like, I don't know, it was like a thread or some fiber was like imprinted like on the actual notebook. But other than that, I've never had them ship the wrong thing. I've never really had many issues besides that, and I've only had these issues recently. I think because it's the holiday season, there's just more issues with everything, So overall, the journals are a pretty good seller, and I definitely recommend selling them. Next thing that I'm going to talk about is the pillows, and I'm giving them a 4 out of 5. They're printed by MWW on Demand, and I'm specifically referring to the spun polyester square pillow, and it comes in 4 different sizes, and I actually have a 14 by 14 right here. I ordered this just because I wanted to take pictures of it. This is something that I had for fall. It really wasn't a good seller, this pillow, but I still liked it. So as you can see, I think that they're pretty good quality. They're a nice texture, they're soft, the pillows in them are fine. There's just a zipper, and this pretty much looks exactly like my design online, so there's not really a difference from what they say it's going to look like to the actual product. I've ordered a 14 by 14 by one before, but I've never ordered a larger one actually. The only thing that I would say not to do, which is kind of a bummer, is using white pillows. I ordered a white one the first time, and you can see like the tag super well. I mean, people can cut the tag, but you can see through the pillow and any of the lines from the pillows, like fabric, you can see that through the white line. So not just the tag, like how this is kind of bunched up, you can see that through the white one, and I just thought it looked bad, and I didn't want to sell that to anyone. I have seen other dropshippers still selling white pillows regardless, but I just avoid that. So that's something to keep in mind if you're going to be selling the white, just a white pillow, because I think I don't know, I wish I could sell a white pillow, but I just don't. I really don't like the way they look. So for the pillows, I really have not had that many issues with them at all. I don't think I've never had a printing issue. And oh, the only issue, this is why I give it a 4 out of 5, is sometimes I've had customers complain about like this type of color looking like pink, and I think the customers are not correct when they've sent me the pictures. I just think that sometimes the picture from the pillow on there can look a little different, and I think that's because it's like vinyl, so it's a little shinier. It could look different. Like I could see how someone thinks this is like pink. I don't know. Or maybe they're 5 out of 5, whatever. But the processing time is fairly long on them. Let's see what they say. They say the processing time is 2.25 days, which for me, it's always been longer than that. I would say like 4 days. Like it takes a good chunk of time for the pillows to ship in my experience, and pillows for me have been a pretty good seller. So it's not like I've just sold a few. Like I've deal with pillows on a regular basis. And this is actually this specific type of pillow. I've never done the pillowcases, and I've never done the box, the faux suede. But this one is one of their best sellers, and I would say most of my customers are really happy with the way these turns out. I don't think I've had any negative feedback from the pillows. So the pillows are good. All right, so the next thing is the mugs, and I use My Locker. There's other mug shippers, there's other different types of mugs, but I use the My Locker ones that come in 11 ounce and a 15 ounce. And they ship super quick. I've always loved using My Locker. I've seen other people say they don't like the My Locker products for mugs, but I really do like them, and I actually have one here. They normally, when I've had bulk shipments, like 10, I've had someone order 30 mugs, like they ship them out that week. Like they're pretty fast at shipping. I've never had any broken mugs ever, and I've never had any printing issues. So basically they come in this box, and when I ordered a bulk one, they each still came in a box. They just put everything in smaller bags and package them together, but this is what they come in. And mine's a little janky because I had taken it out, but they come like this, so they're super secure in there. That's why I've never had anything break. I think they package them A+. Like I truly do love it. This is what one looks like. This is an 11 ounce. I don't sell this anymore, but this was one of my first test mugs that I ever purchased. So I have broken these mugs. I dropped one on the ground, but I mean, any mug will probably break if you drop it on the ground. And there's also the 15 ounce. So it comes in 2 different sizes. The 15 ounce does require, it's like $8 or something versus $5 for shipping. So you do have to price them a bit higher, but I do think that most people order the 11 ounce from me more so than the 15 ounce. And mugs are kind of at least on Etsy, they're pretty competitive, so that's one thing to think about when selling the mugs. I think they're a great thing to have though. The next product we're going to discuss is the tumblers. I do sell the 20 ounce and the 10 ounce tumbler. There's only one person who sells them on Printify, and that is Spoke Products again. And for me personally, the top seller for them has been the 10 ounce. I have less 20 ounces, but the 10 ounce ones have sold more, and I've never had any issues with them. I've only started using them halfway through this year, so I'm still pretty new to them, but they ship their things super fast too. The tumblers ship out like nobody's business. Like even right now in this busy holiday season, they ship out within like 1 or 2 days, which is really awesome. So I'm loving the tumblers. I think that they're great. I've never actually ordered one. They have a rating of 10, and their production time is 2, which is totally agreeable. So people have given me pretty good reviews on them too. I've never had anything, and I didn't say this with the mugs, but they're dishwasher and microwave safe, and the tumblers are dishwasher safe. So that's actually a good competitive advantage, because I've seen a lot of people who don't have the microwave and dishwasher safe for the mugs. So yeah, the tumblers are good too. The next thing is the AOP, the Oliver print tote bag, and that's one of their best sellers too. It's the white bag with the black handle, so it's kind of like a little upgrade than just a regular tote. And I have sold quite a few of these too. They're one of my more popular items as well, and I get really great reviews on these too. So I'm giving them a 5 out of 5 as well, and I've never had any issues with them. Nothing with the print, nothing with shipping, nothing with anything. So I'm super happy with that. And this here says it takes 2.5 days for production time. I normally find it to be a little longer, but I don't know. Recently during the holiday season, they've been on point, so it might have decreased in time. So it's still not super long. I've never had never had them like in processing for too long. So I'm super happy with those. I think that the totes are a great seller, and that customers have said that they're the same thing what I said, that they're happy that they were able, it's a good bargain for the price. It's a little step above other types of tote bags, but it's good price for their money. So the tote bags are really awesome too. And I didn't put this in mine. I just realized I didn't put in this bag that I sell. How could I forget? The bag is the oversized, let me just pull it up, bag. This one I did not include, but it's definitely a 5 out of 5 too. And that is the Weekender bag. That's not one of their best sellers. This one does take a little longer, but not super long. It's 2.99 days production time. I could insert a picture, but it's like a really big bag. There's no zippers or anything. It's just a big bag, perfect like the beach or something. And my customers have loved this bag too. I think that I want to get some for myself. Like they're a nice bag. They're pretty big too. And they're from MWW On Demand. So most of our products are from MWW On Demand and Spoke products. And I think that I've had good experiences with them. You know, pretty much all the products I've used, I've had pretty good experiences with. And they only have a 9.1 rating on the Weekender bag, which surprises me because I've never had any issues with them. I've had larger orders with them, like 8 people buy like 8 bags or something, and they've all been fine. So I don't know what people have issues with when it comes to that one, but I personally never have. Now we can talk about some bathroom products. I do sell shower curtains and I do sell bath mats. I did focus on them more in the beginning. I kind of let a lot of my designs phase out because they weren't that great and I need to kind of revisit them. But they're both printed by MWW On Demand too. And I'm giving the shower a 5 out of 5, the bath mats a 4 out of 5. Shower curtains, never had an issue. They're kind of more of a pricey item and they don't come with rings to put them on, which if you just put that in your description then you're good. But the bath mats, people do, I've gotten only good reviews on the bath mats and shower curtains, by the way, but I've had a few like very minor issues with the bath mats. I had like one had like marks on it and I think the other one like looked a little burnt and weird, but other than that, out of that I've had no issues, none with the shower curtain. So I think they're another good product. I think they're unique compared to some of the other ones. Oh, I do have a bath mat to show you. And I bought one of these bath mats. So you see that they're kind of thin. So this is the small one, and the small one's a pretty good size. I like that there's 2 different sizes, and this production size time says 2.24 days. I have felt that the bath mats are one of my longer, and shower curtains are more of the longer type of items with production time, but they say that. I don't agree with that one, but I wouldn't say it's like overly long or anything. So these are also a pretty good product. I didn't really know how people would feel about the bath mats because I'm kind of particular about my bath mats, but I've only gotten, like I said, good reviews on them. So people do enjoy them. And I guess I'm just gonna mention the clothing now. When I first started looking at Printify, I wanted to sell shirts and long sleeves, short sleeves, and I ordered a bunch. I don't have them with me because they're somewhere else now, but I still have them. But I ordered them and I was just not loving them. I ordered them from a few different people, a few different printers, and I just felt like the designs washed off after a few washes. The one t-shirt I got, the Bella Canvas, which is a popular one, it felt like sticky and you could still smell like the printer. So I don't know, I didn't like them, and I was just thinking with drop shipping, since it's not easy to cancel orders or return for different sizes, like I was just gonna avoid clothing altogether unless it was like a hat or something, because it just seemed like too much of a hassle and too much risk in having people needing a different size or whatever. So I said a no to them, and I would think they're like a 3 out of 5. I mean, I know plenty of people, well, I don't know them, but I've seen plenty of people selling the shirts and everything and having success, I guess, at least from what it appears to be, and it's fine. So that's one thing I don't think I'll ever get into, but just so you know, those are my thoughts on the clothing items. And now let's discuss the holiday items. So I recently started selling the stockings, which the stockings I don't think I've had any wrong shipments. I've only had issues with the stockings from actually Printify, and this is something to be aware of because sometimes Printify's color picker, I've had trouble using their color picker on the website versus putting the color, like a background color, on your file and then saving it on the product. So I would pick the color on Printify and the color did not save when I went to production. This happened on a few different orders and I didn't notice because it didn't not save until it was after, and I don't normally go back and like check them once they're through because you can't change them. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But other than that, in terms of the printer, I have had no issues, and the printer is MWW on demand. So people actually, this is my first time selling them. I didn't order any, and people have given me good reviews. They really like them. So I think the stockings are great. But the last thing, I saved the worst for last, is the ornaments. And the ornaments are sold by My Locker, and I seriously am going to give these ornaments a 1 out of 5 because when they're done right, they do look good, but the amount of times that they're not done right is terrible. And not only that, I think that there's a lot of limitations on the designs that will make it look bad that is not communicated. There's no guidelines for the ornaments, and I know right now at the time of this video it's a very busy holiday season, so I'm sure ornaments are like one of the top things, and also everyone's just ordering things more so than normal. But with that being said, if they're gonna mess up like most of my orders, then they should not be able to print these ornaments. So I actually have one right here, and the problem is it's like not necessarily the truth when they tell me that their machines can't handle a certain design, like they're printed too light or they're printed crooked or they can't handle borders, because first of all, there's no guidelines. So if there's no guidelines, how are we going to know that we can't do this? So it's really on Printify's fault and the printer's fault for not communicating that. And also the inconsistency, like I've had pictures submitted by people, and I'll put some in, I'll do a comparison. This is one ornament that I got from one of my ornaments, and this looks so bad. Like the printing is okay, it's not super light, but it's not centered right, and part of the design is missing here. And this is more of a complicated design, I guess. Like the border's weird. It's already a design that might not look centered correct because the border is irregular. It's not a symmetrical border. But to me, this, from what their mock-up looks like, looks terrible. And also, I have a picture submitted by someone who got it when it was right, and it looks just so much better. And also, this wording looks clear. I know that this gray looks crisp and everything, but you know, I'm just super annoyed at Printify because they're like, oh, your file is blurry, that's why I printed blurry. I'm like, no, it's because the printer didn't print it right. I've had so many misorders, and it's embarrassing too because I'm gonna do a whole video about the ornaments. I really am. I would just say I'm very skeptical about them, and I would be very careful about what designs you're going to put on them. Don't do something complex. Just keep it simple. Probably even just text and like a simple icon is best. And hopefully it gets better when it's not the holiday season, when they're messing up orders, but they have messed up my orders so much. Those are all of the products that I use with Printify, and I've been using Printify for about 8 or 9 months. On my Etsy, I've had 3 Etsys during this time. My Etsy, my main one now, has over 1,000 sales. The other ones had, one of them has like almost 100 and the other has like 200. So I've gone through these things for a good amount of time, used these products for a good amount of time, and these are my thoughts. I would love to know your thoughts, especially any thoughts about the ornaments, because I don't know. And I would like to know if you guys use the t-shirts or anything, I would like to know how many issues you really have with, you know, people needing different sizes or them smelling kind of funky. But overall, these are my experiences with these products, and hopefully you find it a little bit useful because you might not want to order a sample of every type of product. It's good to see other people's designs on products and what they're packaged like. I would say you probably should order some of your designs depending how complicated your designs are, and that's really my recommendation. So thanks for watching. Go check out my other Printify videos. I'm going to be doing a lot more, just sharing my experiences, and hopefully, you know, if you are looking to get into this was helpful, and if you're just looking to sell new products or something, that this was helpful. So thanks for watching.